me ask you something. Do you actually feel worthy of the things that you're trying to manifest? Because the truth is, you don't get what you want. You get what you feel worthy of. Whether it's money, love, success, if deep down you don't feel deserving of it, your subconscious will block it from coming into your reality. Today, we're diving into self-worth and manifestation, how your self-perception shapes what you attract, the signs of a low self-worth mindset, and the exact steps to elevate your self-worth so that you can start actually manifesting a life that you desire. By the way, hi, I'm Danny. I'm a mindset, manifestation, and nervous system regulation coach, and I help women reprogram their minds to attract the life that they desire. By the end of this video, you'll have daily practices to embody unshakable self-worth. So if you're ready for that, make sure you like this video and let's get into it. Here's the thing about manifestation. Your reality is a mirror of what you believe about yourself. And I know that's a little hard to hear if you're not ready for that. But if deep down you have beliefs like, I'm not good enough for that dream job, love always leaves me, making money is hard for people like me, then no matter the situation you're in, no matter if you visualize, no matter if you script, no matter if you say affirmations, your subconscious mind will block these things from fully materializing. Why? Because your subconscious always seeks to maintain your internal image, always seeks to keep you safe. So if you want to upgrade your manifestations, if you want to upgrade your life, then first you have to upgrade yourself. Let's do a quick self-check. If you're struggling to manifest, if manifestations are not coming up for you as fast as you would like them to, then ask yourself these questions. Do any of these sound familiar to you? You downplay your success or reject compliments. You procrastinate on your goals because deep down you fear that you're gonna fail, or you fear of what if you succeed. You stay in situations like jobs, relationships, friendships that don't really feel aligned with you anymore. You have a really hard time setting boundaries and saying no to people. You have partners, clients, or even opportunities that don't really value you. If any of these resonates with you, don't worry. Awareness is literally step one. So let's talk about how we can shift out of this. All right, so how can we cultivate radical self-love and self-acceptance? Here's what most people get wrong about self-worth. It's not about external validation. It's not about proving yourself, achieving more, or waiting for someone to choose you. Self-worth is about radically accepting yourself as you are right now without conditions. Because you right now are worthy. You right now are worth everything. You right now, if you understand how to love yourself right now, the changes that are gonna come about are not because you hate yourself, but in fact because you love yourself so much. You commit yourself. You're so committed to yourself. You're so committed to your growth. You're so committed to your expansion that that's what's going to create the change. That feels a lot better than changing because you hate yourself. Instead, you are changing and you're growing and you're supporting yourself because of how much you love yourself right now. So what are some steps that we can take? Number one is rewrite your self-concept. Instead of saying I'm not good enough, shift into I am inherently worthy just by being me. You get to rewrite yourself. You get to rewrite your story from today forward. Who are you going to be? Who are you going to show up? What do you do? What are your values? What are your non-negotiables to yourself? What does your daily routine look like? How is this new version of you, this version committed to yourself, this version that's committed to loving yourself, to expansion? What decisions do they make? What boundaries do they uphold for themselves? Rewriting your self-concept and really not just writing it on a piece of paper and then setting it aside and you never touch that, but really embodying that new self-concept every single day is such an important and pivotal step. Step two is stop outsourcing your worth. No achievement, no relationship, no validation will ever make you feel good enough if you don't believe it first internally. So make a list of things that make you proud of who you are without any external factors. We're not looking for validation outside of ourselves. We're looking at the things that we truly love about ourselves, the things that we know make us an inherently good person, the things that really like, we're just like, yo, I'm fucking dope in this sense. Write those out. Put aside the external validation because we are not outsourcing our self-worth. Step 3 is do some inner child healing. Many of our self-worth wounds come from childhood. And a powerful exercise that I love to do is to write a letter to my younger self and reminding them of how good they are, how enough they are, how worthy enough. This is something that I struggled, and I still do, I still struggle with it, is how much unworthiness I carry because of situations in my childhood, because I always seeked for validation outside of myself. I always let my parents, my family, my society, my peers really dictate what, if I was good enough, if, I could do something. And I now, as an adult, realize, how harmful that was for me. And so doing this exercise of writing a letter to myself, or even visualizing myself talking to my younger self and sharing the knowledge that I know now about who we are, about my life, about what's possible, about things that I didn't even know were possible for someone like me, quote unquote, and sharing that with myself and really visualizing and healing that little girl that at one point didn't think any of this was possible. The last step is to embody self-respect daily. Every time you set a boundary, choose yourself and say, I deserve better. You strengthen your self-worth in this way. Self-respect is huge. It's you setting boundaries. It's you setting values about who you are, about the environment around you, about how much access people have to you, and upholding those boundaries, upholding those values. This is huge because this is how you build confidence. This is how you know what you deserve, how worthy you are, and you do not let situations that don't align with those boundaries or those values rattle you at all. Why does self-worth affect money, relationships, and success? Here's where things get really interesting. Your self-worth is actually directly linked to your manifestations in every single area of your life. Money. If you subconsciously believe that you're not worthy of making a lot of money, you're gonna find yourself undercharging, under-earning, and sabotaging your financial growth. This comes from somebody that this is one of her biggest wounds, is money. Relationships. If you feel unworthy of love, you'll accept crumbs instead of deep, fulfilling love that you deserve. You will overgive, you will attract emotionally unavailable partners, and you're gonna stay in cycles that drain you if you don't set boundaries, if you don't actually know what it is that you're worth and that you're looking for. Imposter syndrome shows up. Self-sabotage, fear of charging what you're worth, all signs of a self-worth wound. The higher your self-worth, the easier it is to step into rooms where you belong. When you elevate your self-worth, everything, literally everything around you will rise with it. All right, so let's talk about integration. I want to share with you some daily habits that will help you embody an unshakable self-worth. These are some of the habits that I've cultivated, that I practice. Maybe not every day. Not every day do I practice all of them, but in some shape or form, I do practice a self-worth ritual every single day. Mirror work. Every morning, you can look into your eyes, into a mirror, and remind yourself, I am enough. I am worthy. I am powerful. I really, like, this practice seems so silly, but it's so powerful because you are literally looking into the eyes of the most important person in your life, which is you, and you're looking into your soul and you're reminding yourself how inherently innate and innately powerful of a being that it is that you are. I love mirror work, highly recommend it. Radical self-celebration. Stop waiting for huge milestones to validate you. Celebrate yourself every single day. I celebrate myself in the smallest ways, whether it's a small win, whether it's as a mom, like, was I able to regulate my nervous system so that I didn't show up for my son in a way that I'm not proud of? I'll celebrate that. The smallest of my milestones, celebrate yourself. Aligned decision making. Ask yourself, if I fully believed I was worthy, what choice would I make today? And then choose that choice. Like, this is how you embody. This is how you embody your new self-concept, is taking those aligned action decisions. Next is decluttering anything that lowers your worth. This includes toxic relationships, negative self-talk, and even physical spaces that don't feel good. If your space, if where you are doesn't elevate you vibrationally, if it doesn't give you this energy, it got to go. If an outfit doesn't make you look good, if a lipstick doesn't make you look good, if there's somebody in your life that every single time that you have a conversation with them, they are draining you, they are energy vampires, it's time to let go. It's really, truly time to let go. And then one of my favorite practices, and a practice that I'm currently working on, is the practice of receiving. Self-worth is also about allowing. It's about letting compliments land. If people think you're beautiful, if people think you're hot, if people think you're intelligent, you do not have to underplay yourself. You don't have to undersell yourself. Say thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for seeing that in me. Say yes to opportunities. Allow abundance to flow in. Somebody wants to pay you for a service that maybe is just so easy for you. Let them pay you, because you're worthy of that. It's a service. Self-worth is not just a mindset. It's a way of being, of understanding who you are, and of allowing all the goodness in the world to be available to you. And then when it is available, to opening up and saying, yes, thank you, I'll take more. Okay, let's talk about some questions that I've had around this topic. And the first one is, can I manifest if I struggle with self-worth? You're always manifesting, no matter what. Whether you know you're manifesting, whether you want to manifest, whether you have low self-worth or whether you have high self-worth, you are always manifesting. The reason why it's so important to increase your self-worth is because this is how you actually get manifestations that are what you want, that are, a better job, a better career, more money, more abundance, more love, more health, more possibilities. Like, the higher your self-worth is, the higher self-concept, the way that you view yourself, if you believe that you are worthy for literally anything, that is what you're gonna manifest. On the opposite, if you feel like you're small and like you don't want to take up space, and maybe you are just not worthy of the better things in life, so you have to stay in what you deserve, which is the bare minimum, that's what you're going to accept. That will become your reality. So yes, you can manifest with low self-worth. Why would you want to, when you can increase your self-worth, when you can shape your self-concept into being confident and abundant and loving and fierce and powerful? Why? That's what you want. Like, why would you want to manifest with low self-worth? The next question is, what's the fastest way to increase my self-worth? Daily embodiment. Speak, think, and act like the version of you who already knows that they're worthy. How does she show up? What boundaries does she have? If somebody asks you something, what is that version of you that has that confidence, that has that high magnetic level of self-worth? What would they say? And then take that decision. Take those decisions. How do you know if you've really healed your self-worth? I think this is a beautiful question, and I think that you really will always maybe have a little bit of work to do in this area. It's a journey. It's not just like one stop and then you're done. But I really do think that once you stop chasing, and once you start over-explaining yourself, who you are, your desires, your wants, and you really start choosing yourself first and being committed to yourself and being committed to being the person that it is that you know that you are, and you do so authentically. And even if people get mad, and even if you lose relationships, that's really, to me, what feels like a really strong and healed self-concept and self-worth. You were born worthy. You don't need to earn it. You don't need to prove it. You don't need to chase it. You need to remember it. If this video spoke to you, don't forget to like it. Don't forget to subscribe and share it with somebody who needs this message. You're enough, you're powerful, and everything you desire is already on its way to you. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.